Okay, what I thought would take an hour to get out of the car took 2 hours to get out of the car. What I thought would take me 20, 30 minutes to disassemble took me 3 hours. I figured out it had been 17 years since I had this out of the back of that car. So not only did I not remember any of the disassembly order of operations, but I don't think I remember how long it took me to do it 17 years ago. What's really ingenious about the E-Type design for their rear suspension, we've got this lightweight cage that everything fits within. Brakes, the differential, and the suspension arms all attached to this, and like I said, it all just came straight out of the back. The good news is none of this stuff's rusted, and this car spent the last 17 years mostly inside. So most of the stuff I'm just going to clean up and put back together. But the reason we took the damn thing out of the car was this piece. This is essentially just a hydraulic caliper. So when people say brake calipers and brake rotors, you know the rotor is the big round piece with the brake pads, which is this brake pad, which is a wear surface, clamps to the brake rotor. And you use the power of hydraulics to press against that brake rotor. Because I upgraded the brakes on this 17 years ago to Wilwood calipers, which are 4-piston aluminum calipers with stainless pistons in them, I moved the front calipers to the rear brakes. So you get a bit more braking force in the rear, and obviously because the front has been upgraded, it's an attempt to try to balance out that braking power. And it worked pretty well for a time. But here's the mistake I made. So I took the calipers apart, I had them machined and lined in stainless, but I did not use stainless pistons. So the piston that goes inside this bore was made of mild steel. And if I let the car sit for any period of time, brake fluid tends to take on moisture. That means water from the air, and it soaks into the brake fluid. And in the 17 years since I rebuilt this car, I think I had flushed the brake fluid once. That's not often enough. So moisture got into the system, and the one part that was steel, which is made of cast iron, which will rust, was the pistons in the rear brakes. So naturally, they rusted, and they rusted solid inside the bores of the calipers. And I mean all 4 of them did. So I'm going to replace all the seals, the dust seals and the piston seals, and put stainless pistons inside my sweet stainless bores that were also nickel plated. We used metal rescues, let this stuff soak overnight, and Chris was able to pry these 2 apart. So I'm gonna go to the other 3 and see if I can get them apart myself. I probably should wear safety glasses because these chemicals that are gonna shoot out of this probably wouldn't be good in my eye. With one eye, you kinda wanna protect it a little bit better than that. These universal calipers that have a bleed screw on one side and then the feed screw from the actual brake system on the other side. They're made by Dunlop. They're old, but I'm just going to try to rinse this out a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is hold just the piston. I'm going to try and just do a little wedge. Look at that. It's coming out. I know that seems ridiculous, but if you'd seen how hard stuck these were with rust, they were not coming apart before. Mind you, I'm marring up this piston pretty well with this vise, but I don't care because I'm going to replace it. The power of the fulcrum. A little bit of leverage is all a man needs in life, in my opinion. In the trash can. It's the perfect place for a trash can, really. And voila. This is not the stuff you want in your braking system. You don't want all this nasty, dirty sludge. Any small piece of that could cause a brake failure. So you can see why I was having problems. So I'm going to replace this crappy piston with a stainless piston set to go with my stainless bores. I'm going to clean these up to make sure they're okay. They feel fine, actually, even though I just put them through some torture. Let's do the other 2. Normally on a caliper like this, to get the piston out, all you gotta do is hit it with compressed air. I'm going to just hold one side. I'm just going to hit it and see if it'll pop out. See that? Just popped right out. That's the way it's supposed to work. Yahtzee. This will just need to be cleaned up. It's good to go. Now's the time of video where most people ask for money or donations or whatever. I'm not gonna ask you for that. What I'm gonna say to you is, if you wanna see more videos and you wanna learn more of what we've learned, and you wanna see a deep dive into a lot of these topics, go to our website and buy something. We sell everything from motorcycle gear, helmets, motorcycle parts, specialized tools. We sell lots of things, and they've all taken us years to figure out what the best stuff is, and we figured it out. So go to revivalcycles.com. There's some really good stuff there. Everything from like kick-ass hand grips from Posh to Radiance LED lighting,
and everything in between. We want to teach you what we know, but this stuff takes time and it takes real effort to make these videos and make them good for you guys. So go support us by helping yourself to the cool stuff you already need. And it helps us because we make a little bit of profit and then we can justify doing more videos. Thanks for your support.